In today's video, I'm going to share with you our performance coaching system for cricketers, and specifically our performance flywheel. Now, if you're new to the show, hi, I'm Breese. Welcome to Blackboard Friday, our weekly show where we share our systems and frameworks to help you become a better cricketer. So let's dive in. The way we think about cricket and technical coaching is in threefold. Three things. We look at number one, the clinical side of things. Number two, we look at the S&C side of things, which includes nutrition. And number three, we look at the technical coaching, so technique. Each of these things, three things, are an absolute requirement to become a better cricketer. But most of the time we think of them in isolation. We think we're in pain, go and see a physio. We need to get fitter, go and see an S&C. We need to improve our technique, go and work with a technique or skills coach, i.e. a batting or bowling coach. But here's the problem. Each of these three things are intertwined. We believe we need to bridge this gap between clinician and technique and skills coach because they're all intertwined. The problem is, most of the time, we're all working in isolation. Not because they're bad people, but because physios do their thing, they treat pain, S&Cs want to get you fitter, and skills coaches want to make you a better cricketer. However, if you're in pain, it's going to impact your technique. If we don't get out of pain, we can never get into position to move into the technique in the first place. So these two need to work hand in hand. Now, a lot of the time, if you work in professional sports, a lot of the time, these two are always at odds. Physios are always saying S&Cs break me. I keep having to fix the players, and vice versa. S&Cs saying they're not fixing these players, they're not making you as resilient as possible. And likewise, the technique coaches down here always thinking, come on, I need my guys to perform better and get out of the injury room and be fit as possible to perform at the highest level. Because the number one factor in sports is performance. We need to perform at every given opportunity. So here at Cricket Matters, we try and bridge this gap between clinician and technical coaching because we all believe they're intertwined, because performance is the most important outcome. So how do we do this? Well, this is how we look at our performance flywheel. So what we're going to try and do is, and you may relate to this at the same time, is that as cricketers, we're obsessed with technique. So if you put technique here, right? Technique is what we're obsessed with. We watch videos, we analyze test players, we do everything to the nth degree because we're obsessed about technique. But for us, technique is just the output. So we put technique at the middle, right, of what we're trying to do. However, we believe it's supported by 5 other pillars that influence technique. So if I draw another circle coming around here, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to make sure I count here now. So all these things drive towards technique in what we call our performance flywheel. So we start at number 1, health, or systemic health, as we call it at the top here. That drives. You're not healthy. Well, how can you perform at your best? 2, we look at biomechanics, or clinical biomechanics here. So again, if we can't move our shoulders or our neck, well, that's going to impact our technique. We then look at physical capacity. So physical capacity down here. If we're not fit enough, how can we last a game? If we're not strong enough, how can we hold a cricket bat? So these 3 things are all important. We then go into psychology and focus. Psychology, so we call it psych here now. If we're not mentally able to perform our technique, or if we're not feeling confident in what we're trying to do, that's going to impact technique on a Saturday. And finally, we look at fueling, metabolic fueling specifically. Metabolic fueling here. If we're not hydrated, how can we think clearly? If we're not hydrated, well, we're not going to last the game and it's going to impact our technique. Our technique will go off the edge of a cliff. Likewise, if we haven't fueled properly, it's going to go off the edge of a cliff. So for us, we look at technique as the output of these other pillars coming into it. Whereas the conventional model is always we start with technique, we keep working on those drills and hope for the best. But for us, technique is the output. And in order to find out what your technical problem is, we need to assess all these other pillars to help us find out where the right starting point for you is. And that's really important. So yes, we believe in the clinician and helping get out of pain. Yes, we believe in S&C, and yes, we believe in S&C coaching. The question is, where do we start? And until we assess, we are just guessing. just hitting more balls ain't going to solve somebody's cervical rotation patterns, which influence their back shoulder coming out and playing inside out all the time. More drills ain't going to help somebody who's just not fit enough, right? They keep blowing after scoring 20 or 30 runs. They can never get to 50 because they're just not fit enough. Because the fatigue impacts their psychology and focus over here. So our system of coaching in terms of the performance flywheels, we're looking at all these pillars, but technique is at the center and it's an output of what we're trying to do. Now, I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, drop a comment down below. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel. And in following videos, I'll dive into each of these pillars separately to give you a better understanding to help you become a better cricketer.